So cute. And why you all matching with the theme? Hey everybody, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. How's your Sunday been?
Pretty good. It's a Sunday. We went to church.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all go to first service, second service.
We visited. We went to hear a friend speak somewhere else. So.
Okay.
One service.
Nice. Was nice. Good message.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, real good, really good.
Oh, I love a good message. Look, because I don't want to hear nobody talking about like stuff. You ever have you ever? Well, Ericah, you like me have kind of grew up in church, so we didn't kind of seen and heard it all. You get home and think about a message, and you be like, what did they even talk about? Like, they was talking about pancakes and like bacon and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I heard somebody preach about gumbo one time, literal, and I was
like, what? Gumbo. Okay. Y'all, listen, y'all. We got Ericah. First of all, let me make this announcement. My co-host is running a little bit behind. She had to drop her girls off up at Michigan State. So she got stuck in traffic. So she will be here in a second. And she'll pop in when she get here. So she is coming because I know, some of y'all be looking for both of us. So all y'all people who love Tanya, she'll be here in a minute. Everybody got their fan favorites, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I don't take it personal. So we have Ericah and Dionte. Well, Dionte, Ericah Miller, Ericah and Dionte Miller. It's still the same, no matter what order you put it in. Here with us today, and I'm excited because I like for people to know what they're talking about. And so that's the one thing I think that all the way their podcast, we don't take that lightly to just bring people and their opinions on. We try to make sure that they are somebody who are in that field. I know a lot of podcasts out there, they just have random people on and people just spewing out whatever. And I don't like to leave people confused. You know what I mean? I want them to have some good, solid, concrete information. So, guys, I'm glad y'all here. And the first question before we even get started is, how long have you guys been married?
We've been married 13 years in March of this year.
13. Oh my God.
Yep.
That is crazy. Ericah, first of all, you don't even seem old enough.
I am. That was a long time ago.
You don't even seem old enough to have been married 13 years. Crazy. And for anybody who kind of know our backstory, Ericah was much younger than me, but we did grow up together on the same street.
Right.
So even though she was much younger than us, she would come, sit on the porch with us or whatever, like she was one of the big girls or whatever. But I always thought that you kind of had like an old soul, because even though you were much younger than us, you were so like mature, if I can say that for a kid. You know what I mean? Like, what is this kid talking about? You remember? Well, she don't remember this because I had to remind her, but she would go around and tell people, if you lie, you steal. And if you steal, you lie. So everybody close your purses, right? So that was one of her favorite things. That junk used to be so funny. God. But it always stuck in my head because actually, it's actually true. You know what I'm saying?
Told me that.
If you lie, you steal, which is true. So we are going to go all the way there. We have some phenomenal. If you guys have any questions, we are going to want you to put them in the chat. Any comments, anything that you want to ask them, they are like an open book. They've already said today. So, the DJ got to get the place set up. So where are we going today, guys?
We going
all the way there. We're going all the way there today.
Where are we going today? All the way there. Let's go.
Okay, so what we like to do on a podcast when we have a couple is we like for you guys to introduce each other.
Okay.
So you're gonna introduce your wife, and she's gonna introduce you. So you can start out, Dionte.
All right. Well, this is my beautiful, fine, sexy thing, Erica.
Mm.
No, but she is my best friend, the love of my life. I mean, she's a wife, she's a mother, she's a sister, she's a friend, and she one dope therapist. So this is my girl right here.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
This is Dionte and Pontiac. They call him Tay.
We didn't have to do all that on the camera.
He's a finance guru in the professional sector. My baby daddy, my husband, a brother, a good friend. He's also a therapist as well, and he's the solid guy in terms of like, if you need a good friend, he the person. If you need a job, it's probably 10 people he can throw on his hands that be like, Dionte got me a job. You know what I'm saying? He come through. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good friend out the gate, right? And so I happen to marry him. I'm gonna keep him.
See, I'm gonna tell you, that is one of, when a person is resourceful, that is one of the most attractive things ever. Like, you know, because if you meet a guy and you like, I don't care what you ask them and they know, you like, yeah, they're a keeper. Because I can't stand a person that be like, well, I don't know. Well, what you gonna do? I'm like, that's why I was asking you. You know, I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time. And even if you don't know, just be like the person at Home Depot. Let me get back to you and find out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Don't say you don't know, because I'm probably then friend zoned you by then. But that's okay. I was once married. I'm divorced, but I don't know. I'll be having a hard way. Lord help me. But this ain't about me today. This is about y'all. Right?
Oh, Lord.
So you guys said you've been married for 13 years. Both of you look extremely well. And I don't just say that because obviously you guys are a very attractive couple. But I just mean following you on Facebook and just knowing you, you know, I say personally, but I feel because I knew you before and then we've connected on Facebook, it made me feel like, you know, Facebook kind of make you feel like you know people. But just following your constant, steady walk, like it's not wavering. You have always been very consistent. And sometimes you don't get that with people, you know, they kind of up, they kind of down. So if you have things, but you keep it real. And a lot of people don't do that. So, and I love I don't know what you guys call it. Is it like porch talk that you guys do?
We just, I mean, so we go on this walk every day, and we have just recently, we sit on the porch and just talk, but that's really what we do. Or if we're not sitting on the porch, we walking, but we just be chopping it up, right?
Yeah, it's our way to connect. Because we lead busy lives in our personal careers, then we have our kids, and then you just have just the hustle and bustle of life. So I mean, we've become more intentional about just finding time to connect with each other, where we're not talking about the kids. We're not talking about work. We're just like, hey, what's going on with you? All right, well, this was going on with me. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I love that. But I know you said y'all do that, but let's talk about the kids. Like, you guys have kids. So okay, tell us about your babies.
You want to tell them?
Yeah, we got two of them, and we have an 11-year-old, a 5-year-old. They are fire and ice. One is highly reactive. One is chill all the time. And
okay, which one is chill?
The oldest.
So here you go, Keela. So when you was describing that story with Erica, like listen, that is Kendall, but 2.0. So that's girl. So she has Erica temperament, and then my son is just cool breeze like his daddy.
That's what's up.
I ain't cool.
You cool too. You cool.
Oh, that's what's up. I've had the pleasure, just like we've all seen all our kids. That's the one beautiful thing I do love about social media, because if you use it for the more positive light,
right,
you get to see like into everybody's life. So like I've literally saw your kids grow up
for real
on social media, and I haven't visited, seen them in person, but like my daughter tells me all the time, people come up to her and be like, oh, you're Keela's daughter. And she'd be like, Mom, that is so weird. But tell your mom I said hi. But that's the new way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a new way. Long as people just don't get creepy about it, you know.
Right.
But they've sent her messages back. Aaron, you know what? Oh, Ericah, my mom says, I remember that about Ericah. So she did remember that one thing about you.
Hey.
So Aaron, he already said he was going to flood the gates with questions. We're going to try to let y'all talk because he said that from day one when I posted the thing.
Okay.
So he said, question 1 of 2,500. Lord have mercy.
Oh my.
I mean, he coming right in with the Aaron. We got to get like little stuff started. What would you suggest to a couple where the wife goes in the bank and spend $2,000 because she's mad at her husband? Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second. Let's start with the other stuff.
He's going in for real, for real.
He going in like he ain't even started out with like the appetizer. He just like we going straight to the steak.
Right.
Right?
He's taking the door down with it.
Yeah,
Okay, so tell us how y'all met.
I got you. Because I tell it right.
No, because you're gonna be lying.
I'm gonna tell it right. So, okay, I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
So, I used to visit Detroit every summer because that's technically where I'm from. We moved to Louisiana, whatever. All those brothers I had, his brother hung with my brothers, and I met him one day. They would play spades when we were supposed to be in church, and he was there too. He was there too, and I was about 15, and I met him there. And when you're 15, you're like, oh, he cute, whatever.
Right.
But I live in Louisiana. It was cute. You see him, then you don't see him again till God knows when. I went back to Michigan to live and went to Michigan State. Retired, just took her kids. And so I ran into him at the elevator, and he kind of put the pieces together. Was like, dang, I met you before. And probably a few weeks later, we had a date, and it's been history.
Oh, that is so sweet. Did she tell it right?
That's accurate for the most part. I mean, like there's more details. Like that whole night when we ran back into each other, like she said, I was trying to figure out like where do I know her from? But me being me, she called it the shy guy. I'm just quiet. I'm not gonna be just overwhelming. Like, yeah, girl, I know you from somewhere because you just trying to shoot your shot. And so. And so, as the night went on, we kind of put the pieces together. But the funniest thing about all of this, and she didn't tell me this till years later, was we both sitting in a room, and she with her homegirls at the time. And so her homegirls like trying to egg her on, like, what you gonna do? And Ericah just sitting there like, I'm not do nothing. Her homegirl told her, look, if you don't get his number, I'm gonna get it. And so Ericah was like, all right, what's up then? So I walk her to her dorm, and that's all she worked. We here now talking to you years later.
That's what's up. It was destined. It was destined. Okay, so both of you are therapists, and so you want to tell us first of all, what kind of therapist are you?
So we're marriage and family therapists.
Okay, and so how did you guys even decide to do this, especially as a couple?
So I went to school for psychology. My bachelor's is in that, and I always knew I wanted to be a counselor. But in my mind, I was like, who's gonna listen to a 21-year-old who don't know nothing? I wanted some life experience. Got some in my marriage, and then we went to counseling for like 2 years. And then my therapist passed away, and so I sat with it for a minute, and that kind of pushed me to go to school, right?
Okay.
And as I'm doing it, peer pressure, I was kind of like, you might as well, and he went to school too. So like, I just finished in June. He'll be finished in December. And
that is so awesome. Because I mean, oh my God, there's so much you guys can do with that.
You can.
You know what I mean? On the world side, on the church side, I mean, it's just so much. And I think that was the one thing I loved about this one particular church. Is all of their therapists and counselors were certified, like they actually had went through school. And sometimes I think that is important, because if you are not familiar in that area, then you're just kind of sitting behind a desk throwing out some scriptures, and then you leave and you like, okay, but what do I do with this? Because I'm still struggling. And you like, well, no, you got to pray that out. And I'm like, I prayed it out. Right. You know what I'm saying? But help me get to the root of this is what I'm saying. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But everybody isn't called to counsel. And sometimes churches just feel like because you have the title that you are qualified to counsel. And I don't think that that's necessarily everybody's role. So I love that, because not only can you give sound advice from the Bible, but you can just, you can tap into some other things.
Yeah.
So now, did you guys have other professions before this?
Yeah, we still work.
Yeah,
I work in behavioral health on the insurance and health insurance. So I don't necessarily have to see clients right now.
Okay.
I get to talk with other therapists all day and help them with their stuff. And this is the finance guru here.
Oh man, listen, I've been in finance since I finished undergrad in like 2006. So I've worked for like JP Morgan. I've worked for Citi. And so like now I'm working for Exeter Finance. And so that's kind of been my niche since I finished.
Nice.
But that's just who I am.
Okay, so first of all, y'all just a straight power couple. Like, forget Beyonce and Jay-Z. Well, I say that, but I mean that in a sense, because me and Tanya make this joke all the time. So you got some finances, you guys are therapists, so you guys can help people in all kind of areas. So to me, those are what real power couples are. I'm not saying that they aren't, because they moving some things, but what I'm saying is in their own light. But I think sometimes when people think of power couples, they think of things, to me, on that level, right, and everybody is not on that level. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we got to have some power couples, making moves through the community.
That we can actually reach out and touch.
Yeah, reach out and touch.
Reality,
Yeah.
Aaron say, my bad. Let me know when the entree comes. Aaron, we got you. I promise. We got you.
We got you, Aaron.
Like, because I got questions.
I got questions. Get your questions in order. I'm sure you wrote them all down.
Yeah.
So, Tanya, to catch you up, they married 13 years ago.
Beautiful.
They have 2 beautiful children, 11 and
5.
Mm-hmm. Little girl, a boy, a girl. And they met here. She was at school.
Yep.
MSU.
Mm-hmm.
Go Green. So that's just to put you up on the speed of things. So now you can just dive in. Okay. Who do you talk to when she's upset or when you're upset?
Oh, that's a really good question, right? I think for me, of course, the first thing I'm gonna pray about it first. Like, I'm gonna definitely do that. Right? I gotta talk to God because He's the one that gave it to me. But I can count on one hand. I'll say this: how many people that I talk to regarding my marriage?
I love it.
Because here's the deal: you got to be intentional, and you got to be wise about who you seek counsel from.
You got that right.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm not gonna take any advice or seek any advice for somebody that's gonna tell me what I want to hear. I want somebody that's gonna keep me accountable. And then, of course, I'm going to talk to her. If my concern is with her, I'm going to collect all that data and go back to who I have the conflict or let me go talk to you about this, because at the end of the day, I can talk to them all day. But if me and you don't get no resolution, all that's in vain. So I count on one hand, Keila, how many people I will talk to regarding my relationship.
I love that, because you don't need to have people in your space. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about if things are like abusive. I'm talking about in your marriage, because at the end of the day, like the old saying goes, they'll still be mad and y'all will be gone happy somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. Ericah, do you feel the same?
Don't call me a heathen. I might not pray about it first.
I will not call you a heathen.
It depends on where I'm at. It depends on if my emotions are regulated at the moment and if they not. If I'm not regulated, if I'm 0 to 100, if I'm at 100, then I'm gonna pull away, and I might seek counsel, or I might just use my own little calm down methods and calm down, and then I'll go back to him about it, and I pray. We pray about everything anyway, So if he don't listen to me when it comes from me, I'm gonna talk to him like, yo, you talk to him, because you know what I'm saying. So I talk about everything anyway, but I would say I agree with, like, there's a small handful of people that I trust. I got some friends that's divorced but accountable and wise. I have friends that are married that I trust. And so we got a small little village.
And we have our own therapist too.
That too.
So,
okay. Okay.
Therapists still need a therapist, so we should do that as well too. So
I like that because I never understood why the hairdresser don't have her hair done. You know what I'm saying? So you come in there and get your hair done, you be like, I'm confused. Like, you know, like,
but they'll tell you they don't have time when they really truly need to make time.
Yeah, because it's a representation of what they're doing. You know what I mean? Right. So I like that. And I do like the accountability and of seeking advice from people who just don't say what you want to hear.
Right.
And those are the type of people I like in my circle, because especially when you have a very strong personality, you need people that's going to be straight honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know that was wrong, or you know that was right. Don't just say, well, I don't know if it was me. You know, I don't need that, because we don't have time for that, you know.
And we talked about that often too. If you're in a room full of people that's saying yes, 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 then you step out there and they be like, no, you be like,
right. Right.
Because my 5 people just told me yes. So
exactly.
Those kind of people to shed light to.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I also love, because Ericah, I probably would be more like you, but I do think with Dionte being the leader, I love that he said, and I know it wasn't necessarily a politically correct answer, because I truly believe that's what he do. But with him being a leader, I love that he go to God first. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you want. You want a man that's going to go to God first. Right. Lord knows I'm be going to some of these heathen friends out here in the street who ain't doing half right. Not your friends, Dionte. I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah.
I just mean in general. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you do have to share friends, likewise friends, like-minded friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. That's not going to steer you off the path like, man, she's tripping. You want to go over here to such and such with us? Not, we don't need them type of friends. No. You know.
And Keila, I will say like that. I say that because I used to didn't do that. Right.
But I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would just react out of me instead of being like, yo, am I tripping? Okay. You know what I'm saying? That type right.
Yeah. But then that's growth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which I love that you two are doing. Tanya, did you print your questions?
Well, nope. I'm looking at what I sent to you. So
okay, well, go ahead, girl.
Okay, pull them up. Okay, this is one that I don't know if you shared everything with them, but do you guys believe in like not letting the sun go down to your raft? Have you heard that? I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's biblical, right?
It's biblical. Yeah. Do you practice that? Because sometimes it's really hard, you know, not to.
I'll say this. Like, because that sounds very literal. Like, don't go to bed mad, or you know, type midnight, of deal, right? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We sleepy. We gonna have to just right?
Prop those eyes up with some toothpicks. Like,
I think we both have grown to a space to where if we know we can't get any resolution in that space of time, then we're both gonna go to our corners and process however we need to process, but we're not gonna allow it to just sit. We're going to come back to that. And we both agree. We got to come back to some type of resolution. So when you say that, I look at it more through that lens, not necessarily like, oh, she pissed off still and I want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. But it ain't no real resolution just because we go to bed.
Right.
You know, that don't make sense to me.
So we don't leave anything unresolved for extended periods of time. Like the goal is always to circle back and let's see where we meet in the middle on whatever subject it is, you know. I ain't gonna go to bed and like not speak and say goodnight or nothing like that. But same time, like you can't always solve everything on the spot.
And then I like too that sometime being married, and Tanya, you know, she haven't said she's a married veteran too. She's been married. What's how many years now?
23 years.
Ooh. So 23. And my thing is being a person who was married. Sometimes you have to sleep on some stuff. You know what I mean? You have to sleep on some stuff and just let's talk about this tomorrow. Because tonight I'm like on 1,000, you on 10,000, and we ain't
like, nobody to fight
anywhere.
We ain't gonna get nowhere because I don't even hear you right now. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't know if we asked this question already, but were you guys Christians before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met at a church conference, like legit
church conference.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be at church and we were not. We was 15.
I love it though. I love it.
I'll be right back.
It's our game.
Okay. I love it. You like, no, we met at a church conference. Okay, so look, Tanya put this question on here. Do you feel that opposites attract?
I would have to say, yeah, I do. I do. You go first on this one, but I do.
Yeah, like there are some similarities that we have that are important. You know, like you said, you want like-minded people, you know, like we have many similarities, but on the flip side, I've been this vocal person since yay high.
Exactly.
Whereas he's a bit more quiet. And so that balances out pretty well. You know what I mean? He's more of a action-oriented person, and sometimes I like to ponder on things to see, like, well, what's gonna happen if we do it this way? What's gonna happen?
Right.
So, you know, it works, you know, but I do feel like opposites attract in a sense.
Sometimes I wonder if that's like a male and female thing, because men are more reactive. You know, like if they say, look, this is what's supposed to be done, they like ready in 2.2 seconds. You like, wait, hold up. I need to calculate. You like, I need to do this. Yeah. You like, wait a minute. Tanya, what do you think?
I was sneezing. What was I don't know what's going on.
The question was, do you think opposites attract?
Oh, do I? I feel that the foundation is what bring people together, but it's like the different not characteristic, because those should be the same, but personality traits, and that's what really makes people like balance them out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we just said.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
everybody can wake up and be on 10. I can't imagine being like my husband, because he's just like this
morning person. I am not.
Yeah, your husband is kind of like laid back too.
He is. I'm like, come on,
but Tanya, you on the other hand, y'all definitely balance each other out.
We do.
Tanya be getting hood, and her husband is not like that. But okay, we're gonna keep
he's from Yanktown, so he has it in him. I have seen it come out.
There it is.
And that's when I know that I'm not needed in this situation, because I'm already here.
That sounds familiar.
I'm just there right now to just rub his back.
Absolutely.
Okay, so would you advise online dating, speed dating, all of that good stuff?
We might be a difference of opinion on this one, but go ahead.
I mean, I don't see a problem in it. Now, granted, when we got together, all we had was AIM, America Online Instant Message. You know, we had Black Planet, and Facebook came out towards the end of college, whatever. I don't see a problem in it. I would say, I think you have to be very careful. I've heard it can be pretty wild out there, but I've seen some success stories. Like one of our couple friends, we just went out with them and all their cute little kids recently. They met online. They have a great marriage. You know what I mean? Like, I think it can be a resource if you connect with the right people.
Yeah, you gotta connect with the right people. Because let me tell y'all, I had never did the online dating thing, right? And somebody suggested it. So I said, okay, I'll try it. Let me tell y'all, first of all, I'm not even exaggerating. I put my info in. It's $4.59. It was $4.59. Okay. I got so overwhelmed that I was just like, okay, they out here like wolves. So I just shut it down because I got nervous. Really? So I'm like, I'm like, this is impossible. Like, all y'all just sitting there trying to see who knew. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I could have messed up myself, but I got scared. Because I'm like, it was just too overwhelming for me. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong, but I want to hear your answer, Dionte.
Do you remember which platform, Keela?
I'm too embarrassed to say.
Okay.
I'm too embarrassed to
I will sidebar after this because I want to know.
Hotchicks.com. But go on, Dionte.
It was nothing like that.
I don't think that it's anything wrong with it, right? I think it's a matter of preference. But I'm a little old school, just in my, like, I'm private anyway. So for me to kind of filter through like interactions via online, and I know that's the way of the world, I'm like you, Keela. I probably wouldn't have that warm, like, I could be getting catfish right now.
Right, catfish.
So, yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm kind of cool on that. And so for me, I probably would shy away from it if I was in a space to where I didn't have her, and I'm like, nah, I probably ain't doing no online dating, player.
Yeah, because and then people are so forward. I mean, I know men are supposed to be forward, but I don't know. It just like, so give me your phone number. I'm like, okay, hold up. I'm like, delete. Right? I know they probably like she just dropped off the grid. I'm like, this is too much.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tanya, what you feel?
I would probably be wary of the platform. So I would wonder if blackchristian.com is better than what's the other eHarmony? Or it's one more I'm forgetting.
I think it's weirdos on all of them, honestly. I mean, I've only been on one, but I think some people just set out because they know, and I hate to say this. How can I say this without somebody thinking?
Go all the way there and just say it.
I hate to say this, but sometimes they play on Christian women because they feel like they're a little naive. And so, and so the little weirdos, they just be tagging them like, hey girl, let's go out. I mean, I've heard some stories from some people and they have not all been great. I do know one person like Erica who had a success story, but some of the other people be like, oh girl, and he this, and I was just like, oh, I'm good, because he don't sound like he Christian at all. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere near it. That girl, block him today. You know what I'm saying? So, Tanya, what's the next question?
What would you all say are the top 5 things or top things for like a healthy relationship?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Number 1, communication. Number 2, honesty.
I would say those 2 for sure. Accountability for sure. I would say commitment, and then I would say selflessness too. So, and those are, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And as a bonus, always be trying to learn each other as you evolve. I'm not the same girl I was in 2003, so whatever you thought you knew, it don't apply no more. So
I love that.
Kind of pivot and learning each other as you go and accommodate,
Yeah. I would say communication has to be at the top of that, because even as therapists, and you have clients or couples that I see, typically a lot of what they experience from a negative perspective, it all stems back to their ability or inability to communicate.
Right.
I can't make this up, whether it's finances, whether it's intimacy or what have you. It's their ability or inability to communicate. So communication definitely is my top in terms of a healthy relationship.
And then trying to help somebody to understand, because everybody don't comprehend things the same. So you think that you're saying something one way, and then they come back and be like, and you're like, that is not what I said. You know what I'm saying? And like, well, you did. I mean, you applied it. And I'm like, but I didn't say that though. You know what I'm saying? So comprehension and communication definitely is number 1. I have to walk away with a clear understanding that exactly what I meant, because words get so misconstrued, and then people hear the words the way they hear them, based on what they've been through. You know what I mean? And it's a weird dynamic, learning people and just trying to be, cohabitate, if that makes sense.
It never stops. It never stops, even after 23 years.
Yeah.
It never stops. Just like they talk about the angels and how they circle God, and each time they see like a different face, each year you may see.
Great analogy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, who are you today?
Right.
I don't like green no more.
No, really. Really, you like what you just liked green like last week. You like, I don't like it this week. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to, right?
Right.
Okay, so Tanya, this is an interesting question. Are you okay with interracial dating? Like, how do you think you tell your friends?
I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, I ended up with this wonderful Black man, but I would say in my single life, I was open to whoever was going to love me appropriately and vice versa.
Right. Love you the right way. I know that's right, girl. So Tanya, what's the next one?
So let's go back to like dating. What are red flags that both the male and the female should look for when it comes to dating?
So From a red flag perspective with dating, man, I ain't dated in so long. It's different out there.
It is different.
But what I will say for me, right? And this might not be politically correct, but this is just who I am, right?
Okay.
I think for me, the biggest red flag that I would have if I was dating would be someone who doesn't have any awareness about their stuff. I don't know if that's the therapist in me, but it's like, okay, you know, you go into a relationship and you're like, okay, what are they going to bring to the table, right? Mm-hmm. Like, do they have their own stuff? Do they have their own car? Do they have their own money? You're thinking about this surface stuff.
Right.
But someone that doesn't have any awareness about their blind spots, in the beginning is cool because you like, oh, she cute, she good, I'm good. I'm going to kind of disregard that. But then you think about it, if you're going to be with her long term, that's going to cause some issues in your relationship down the road. And so for me, that would be a huge red flag if someone shows up in a dating environment and they have no awareness about just their stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be a red flag for me.
That would definitely be a red
flag. What about you, Erica?
I'm big on who you present and who you really are aligning. And so I'll say this. I'm the married friend who do the research on my friends' new booze, right?
That's Tanya.
And so if you present one way to me when
that's Tanya.
You present one way when you met my friend at wherever, and then I go to your Instagram, I'm gonna check your followers. I'm gonna check who you following.
Yeah.
Your comments. I'm gonna check who you're responding to. And if it ain't aligning, that's a red flag to me.
That is a red flag.
In person, a red flag to me is how do you treat people? You know what I mean? Because
that's so important.
Indicator of like, is this person abusive? Are they, are they just a good person at the core? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you treat people? How do people respond to you?
And see, that's important to me because you can be nice to me, but if I see that you treat other people differently, then I'm turned off. Like I don't, because it's just a matter of time before that person shows up for me. This is just all your representative right now, So I totally agree. But Tanya is definitely that friend, y'all. Let me tell y'all, if I tell her that I met X, Y, and Z, this girl will be like, no, girl, because let me tell you, who is this person? And I'm like,
I don't like how they responded. I don't like what you're telling me. And you can tell when someone's holding something back.
Yeah.
That's why every friend needs at least one person they can bounce the craziest stuff off of. So you can be like, he ain't right.
That's me. Sometimes they love me for it. Sometimes they be mad if I'm right.
I know you be mad that you're right, but at the same time, you love it because it's like, dang, that's dodge the bullet. You know what I'm saying? And then listen, the one time I didn't tell her about a person because I was like, I'm just not telling her because I don't, blah, blah, blah. And child, that's for another podcast. Okay. But
it ain't awful. It
didn't go right. But listen, guys, it was the first church guy I ever dated. Go figure. But anyway, so the next question is, when in therapy with couples, can you tell when they should just call it quits?
Yeah.
I
can.
Yeah. But
it's not my job to say that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I view being a therapist at least when I'm in practice. This your car. You the driver. I'm in the passenger side. I'm just trying to help you figure out which way you want to go to get to your end destination. Like when we start a session, I say, okay, what's your biggest hope for therapy? What do you want the end result to be? But it's not my job to tell you, girl, you need to leave him or you need to leave her. Right. You know, I'm just a passenger, just kind of backseat driving with you. This is your car. This is your life. When you leave here, you have to live with that.
Right.
And I'm gonna point out all the options you have to get to the destination and say, okay, so what happens if you goes left? What happens if you go right? So, but yeah, I can tell sometimes in my mind, I'm like, they need to just go on.
Oh yeah, a lot of times.
Don't let this go.
Is this dating when they're dating or when they're married or both?
I mean, both.
It's both.
I mean, because sometimes you can tell when somebody's been forced to come and they've already quit on the relationship,
gotcha.
And there's one person fighting, and I feel like you gotta you got a loss already if only one person fighting for the relationship.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, then you can tell if they might be lying a little bit sometimes.
I like to pose examples or analogies for my couples to kind of be like, put it right in their face. I say, okay, look, if you in a boat and you both got an oar and he the only one rowing this boat, is that boat gonna move? Well, nah. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna get tired and you're gonna get frustrated because you're just swimming in that water. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh man, you're right. So what you gonna do?
That's true, because I'm not trying to do all of this by myself. You know, you need to be doing something, because I'm gonna tell you, after a while, you just start losing respect for people like that. And then when you get to the point where you can't stand to see the person true respect is lost. You know what I'm saying? Because when a person start realizing they can do it by themselves, you are really starting to train them that they can do it by themselves, you know. And that's kind of the sad part. I know Aaron got this one big question, but Tanya, you about to ask the next one?
Oh no, ask Aaron's question. Go ahead.
Okay, because I want to make sure we touch his first before we go. What would you suggest to a couple where the wife goes in the bank and spends $2,000 because she's mad at her husband?
Whoa. That's
first off,
that's it.
Any denomination. 2,000.
First off, and this is coming from me. Between the two of us, this is the stronger finance person, obviously. But there are certain like thresholds of amounts that we don't question each other about. But 2,000 would be one of them numbers that you're gonna have to run that by me, you know?
Right. Right.
If you're gonna to retaliate, that's a problem because you're hurting us as a unit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what I would do with that. What would you do if I spent $2,000 of our dollars?
Because you were mad at me?
Yeah, to hurt you, but ultimately I feel like I'm hurting us. But
I mean, I'm not about to give you no political answer. We going to therapy because we're gonna have a real misunderstanding. But if I'm giving you a therapist answer, I think you gotta kind of remove the fact, like, yes, $2,000 could be a lot of money for some people. Mm-hmm. You got to look at the core that is like, hey, that was a reactive response based on some type of breakdown in our communication. Mm-hmm. Right. So the bigger issue is, okay, what caused us or pushed you to a point to where you felt like I need to go spend $2,000 because I'm mad at you, right? So we need to explore that, because I mean, we can't keep every time you get mad at me, you can't go spend $2,000.
Exactly.
We're gonna be living out. Yeah.
Why you still mad?
I'm not a therapist like Ericah and Dionte, but I'm gonna tell you that's childish. And from that point on, I know people don't say this, but I will have a separate account, because
say that
because you're not about to put us on the street. You know what I'm saying? Because you get an attitude sometimes. So now I'm building this account to just make sure we stay safe, because you do things on impulse. Yeah. You know, I don't like that. We would definitely have to address that.
Therapy is the wrong type of therapy when it comes to something like that. Yeah.
There's a deeper issue there.
It's
a much deeper issue there.
Definitely. And they definitely need to go seek something, because finances will definitely put a couple in divorce court, because if you need to learn how to manage that, respect it or something.
Okay, so I'm wondering, do you guys tell each other everything? So let's say Ericah has his best friend or like close friends. Do they think that by the end of the night, Dionte gonna know all our business and vice versa?
I don't do that.
Me either.
No,
I don't do that. You know what I mean? Now there are moments, and what's interesting is, like, my friends, like, we're all so close that they kind of view him as a brother now. So there are moments where they say, take this to Dionte, because I want a twofold opinion. He's a man, you know. I want a little date, you know. And sometimes I might ask, like, I don't really know. You want me to take this to him? Sometimes they say yes. Sometimes they say no. Not because he's a therapist, but just because, you know, just inside, we're all friends. We kind of created our own family here. But no, I'm not going to tell everything to this man, and he's not going to tell me everything either.
Yeah, I think that's just a respectable thing to do when it comes to girlfriends. Especially if it's, you know, if a woman is experiencing the female issues, your husband don't want to know that. He don't even care to know that.
But guess what? I'd be wary of any man that wanted to. No.
Yeah, he probably like, okay, look, I could just, okay, I mean, you telling me that, but what I'm supposed to do with this? You know what I'm saying?
I can't help it.
Right?
I know, but I would be wary of any man, like I was saying, that would want to know all of his wives or girlfriends, friends' business. Like, what are your motives behind that? You know?
Yeah.
It sounds like they collecting bones.
Mm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because that's weird to me. You know, I think any man that be super engaged, and this is just me. This is just me. Men typically be doing their own thing. When a man is super engaged in what his wife, girl, and his girlfriend's doing, I'll just be like, that's a red flag within itself. I mean, because they ain't trying to, they don't care about what y'all talking about. Right. But I will say this: women who feel like they have to tell, that's why I don't tell them. Like, once I learn that they're like that, I don't share certain things. And then when they say, well, you know, you ain't never tell me, I'm like, because I didn't want Pete to know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want Pete to know, so I didn't tell you. And or girls who be like, girl, well, don't, if you tell me, you know, my husband gonna know. And I'm like, okay, so what do you think about this? Because I know we got, I see, these topics always need part twos. You know what I'm saying? It always need part twos because we like barely touching the surface. But I do want to ask this question. As a couple, and you guys have been married a long time, just like Tanya, do you think it's strange when couples feel like, okay, Ericah, you're having a girls' night out or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you have this one girlfriend that even if it's a girl's night out, her husband have to be there. Like, he has to be at every event.
Yeah, I say like, what?
He's not going
at
all.
He's
gonna tell me he's not going.
Yeah, but he has to be at every event. He want to show up with you at every event, no matter if it's just all girls there or not.
I think that's weird. I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, my personality needs a long time. Period. With just me, and then of course you need, you know, friendships, you know, and that sort of thing. But I think any relationship to kind of work has to have a good balance of independence and togetherness. If that, I know that sounds kind of crazy.
No, it doesn't.
It don't. Okay, I feel like that way, you know, it's harmonious. It might not be perfectly balanced, but he needs his moments at the golf course, at the gym, you know, wherever. It's just weird. And I mean, no, it's a no for me.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I don't know if it's a control.
Iron does sharpen iron, you know, and you know, we need our female friends. The men need their male friends, and that's just the way it is. That's just how you find balance. Yeah, because you really don't, you know, who you are until you surround yourself with more people to kind of help define or solidify more of who you are. If I'm saying that right, but if you just spend your whole entire life, oh honey, oh babe.
It sounds very codependent to me.
Yes. I like the word. That word is
it sounds a little too codependent and a little bit unhealthy. I wouldn't recommend it, and I don't do that.
I think that is extremely unhealthy, but they're the experts, so you heard it from them. It was my opinion, but they said it. I mean, I think it's just a weird thing. And then also, a couple is coming in for therapy, right? So I'm painting this picture for you. And this one couple, since we're talking about friends, the guy is like, I have friends. I want to get out and go play basketball. Sometime I want to do this. The wife have no friends. And so every time they get ready to want to do something, she's like, well, you know, bye, go have fun, you know, because she has no friends. What do you suggest to this couple? Like, he's like, look, I'm only going to play basketball. She's like, I don't have any friends, you know. Yeah. What do you suggest to her?
I think we kind of experienced that just a little bit when we first moved to Texas, when my job moved me from, I guess it kind of roles changed, right? So my job moved me from Michigan to New York or New Jersey, and it was just Ericah's family. I was kind of by myself. Okay. I had a good relationship with her family and her brother, so that kind of helped me in terms of but I can go anywhere by myself and be cool. Mm-hmm. But when we came here, she didn't have anybody, and I have family here. I kind of meet people kind of quick by going to the gym and different things like that. So I found myself going to the gym, which is my normal routine, to play ball or do this. And Ericah just kind of at the house like, what am I going to do? Right?
I'm with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even have no kids
so,
yet.
Yeah, okay. She was by herself. Yeah. And so for me, I think at that time I was still growing. So I didn't quite understand it. But as I started to understand the impact of what she needed, I started to try and be more intentional by creating a space of time for her, and then kind of reading the room, if you will. Like, if I feel like she need a little bit more of my time, let me just hang back today or tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
But I needed her to understand too, like she said, I need this so that when I come home, I can be a better version of myself, right? So I'm not angry or just tired or like, God dang, man, here we go again. You know what I mean? And so it's not easy, but you have to just be intentional about everything you do in terms of how you navigate that. And creating spaces of time is so important because you want her to feel value too.
Right.
Yeah.
So before, what were we gonna say, Keila?
No, go ahead with what you were gonna say.
So, what would you say are some non-negotiables when it comes to dating, and like non-negotiables once you're married?
A non-negotiable, I think, for most people is me and Keila chatted a little bit about this. Like, define what things are deal breakers for the relationship. So for some people, infidelity is you double tapping 3 times on the same girl pick, you know. That's like major, you know what I mean? I didn't even know they was following it, you know. I don't care. Whereas for another couple, it's like infidelity is, you know, one little step out. Like, define what the deal breakers are, you know, for your relationship. You know, what's crossing the line, you know, and not just infidelity. Like, how much money is it okay to spend if we have this much in the bank? You know what I mean? What's our threshold amount? Like, that sort of thing. How are we going to raise our children? Or if we already got our own kids, what's okay in dealing with my kids and vice versa?
Right.
That sort of thing, because I've seen that money messes up relationships. That will tank a relationship. Definitely dishonesty will, no matter how it goes, that'll mess it up. And for me, again, how do you treat people? Like, that is a deal breaker for me. You will not treat me like trash.
I was gonna say respect. Respect is a deal breaker.
That's yes.
I'm gonna give you my best, but you can't be giving me your worst. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And respect is layered, right? Respect is more than just how I treat you when I see you. Respect is how I treat you when I'm not around you, right?
Exactly.
What regard do I hold you in when I'm not around you? And so for me, respect is non-negotiable. I'm not going to be cussing you out, raising my voice at you. You're not going to do the same thing to me. And if that's happening, this ain't going to work.
Right.
But you got to define that for your relationship. Some couples cuss each other out, and that's cool for them. That's funny. To me, the way I was raised, I think we about to fist fight. So
yeah, I agree. It is different for different people.
Yeah,
you know, because you know sometimes you can see couples and they might be saying some names. You be like, oh, I wish you would call me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever think you're gonna say that to me. But they are okay. You know what I mean? So that is very true.
And we're about to run out of time, but there are like women that feel as if they can never tell their husband no because of the church background that they have. And I mean, as far as knowing their husband in the bedroom, no matter what kind of day you having, no matter what's going on, when he asks, you better say yes, because you have to, because that's your husband. Where do you guys sit with that?
Ooh, this is a good one because I like this question.
Don't ask me that. So first of all, I know I'm a marriage and family therapist, but my scope goes pretty wide. So my specialty is abused children. And a lot of times when I would counsel abused children, this also happened to the parents. So to me, no is no, whoever it is. So and with your spouse, it's unlikely that you're gonna be like, no. It might be like, can we wait till we get like 4 hours of sleep? You know what I mean?
Right.
And later, but goes back to the respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still think there needs to be some respect there, and I think people take a lot of Bible and twist it up in a way to control people in an unhealthy way. I'm stirring the pot, but I think we respect each other in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but definitely.
And he's not gonna want it if
exactly.
Because
she ain't really
like,
feeling it. I'm like, I'm not trying to be just in here in the mood and doing all the work, and you just kind of like, let's get this over with.
See, it's something that's weird with that. You know,
I'll come back a little bit later.
right.
When you feel better.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to have a part 2, honestly. I said these things because we still have like other questions on here that needs to be asked. And plus, I have one more that is about the respect thing that DeAndre said. And I want to lead into that if you guys are willing to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then we have to help Aaron too, because
yes, you can ask that right now.
Yeah, so he wants to know, do you have therapy sessions for divorced men suffering from marriage PTSD? PTSD. You do?
I do.
Aaron, he does. Okay, so we'll make sure you guys connect after the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love that. So we'll talk about some dates. And one thing that I didn't say off the grid is when we disconnect, don't hang up. Okay. And especially now, don't hang up, because it's some other things. Like when DeAndre was talking, some other things came up in my head, and I would really love to touch on the respect, because like he said, that is a layered thing. And so I really want to go into that a little bit deeper as far as the couples, goes, and, because everybody is on different wavelengths in life. And I would love to touch on that. So Tanya, right quick. So they said they'll come back for part 2. We'll give them the date for the part 2 when we get off the line.
Want me to give a challenge? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I want you to give a challenge.
Okay, and this is just straight off the cuff. Think about what your non-negotiables are in any relationship, because that's going to transfer to how you are in any relationship. So whether it be with your boyfriend, with your spouse, you have to know what those non-negotiables are. No respect, then no love. Peace out. Abuse me, I'm out of here. Cheat on me, I'm out of here. And that has to be the way that you are in anything. So just come up with a list of non-negotiables. Be ready to discuss those with your friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your spouses, and put those out there, because that's how you establish boundaries, and that's how you set a standard for how people will treat you. So think about those if you don't have them. We're
going all the way there on this next podcast, like for real, because respect is something serious for me, and that cheating thing, because couples do survive that, but I want to talk about that too, because some people say no and out, but then there are some people who we can work through this, and I want to talk about that. Those couples that are struggling to work through that, but they want to work through it, but they're struggling because sometimes it's hard to forget. So we're going to talk about that. So they agreed to come back, and we're going to get that planned out for you and put that all out in the atmosphere. And Aaron, I'm going to get you the information so you can reach out to him. So you can talk to him, one-on-one session, or Dionte Miller, if you wanted to inbox him, or we'll have that information. He can, you could get in touch with him one-on-one if you want to, but I'll definitely get the info for you. So everybody, we want you to have a wonderful week.
Be safe. We don't take for granted that you tune in today or any day, even if you go back to watch it. We do appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you. And we thank you guys for taking time out of your day, sharing your day with us too. We really, really appreciate it. And but when we come back next week, when they come back, we got some heavy hitters, because I just thought a whole bunch of stuff up, and we going all the way there for real.
We're about to get her therapy session.
We going all the way there. We going all the way there. So y'all be ready. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next podcast.
All right, no problem.
And you guys take the challenge for real, because some of y'all just be out here having relationships and y'all don't be knowing what y'all doing. So take the challenge. Okay.
Know what you want. Okay. All right.